warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Madam Jannatul. We are from IM455 to ST2 Group 2. And now we will present about Duke University Medical Center Archive, Dumca. Our group consists of 5 members and this is our members.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Asyraf bin Tarjudin. Today I'm going to present to you about the introduction of Duke University Medical Center Archive and how they preserve and store their records. As you guys can see, I'm going to brief a little bit about the introduction of Duke University Medical Center Archive. It was established in 1977 and has played a critical role in capturing institutional records and documentation for DUMC and the health system, as well as assuring their future availability for administrators, researchers, and scholars. Dr. James Gifford established the first organized archive program, building on the effort of Alan Clark and others who gathered the document of Dean Wilbert C. Davidson and many of the early Duke leaders. DUMC archive mission has always been to secure and store documents from major administrative office, gather papers from department heads and leaders, and organize hundreds of image reports and artifacts. The administrative records of individuals affiliated with Duke University Medical Center, the Duke University Health System, and the Duke University School of Medicine are housed in the Duke University Medical Center archive.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning to my lecturer. My name is Rusdhi. My student ID 202045546. Today I will present about the list of activity in Duke University Medical Center archive. I will start with point 2.1, which is acquisition and collection. Acquisition and collection. Duke University Medical Center Archive is responsible for preserving and maintaining legal, administrative office, department chairman, and faculty. The Duke University Medical Center Archive, which is known as DUMCA, is the repository for archival records created by the Duke University Medical Center (DUMC) and its affiliated professionals such as the Duke University Health System (DUSS). Hence, the DUMCA was initially founded in 1977 as a result of the enthusiasm and cooperation of numerous medical center faculty members. The researchers can track the activity of Duke University Medical Center through the correspondence, speeches, short article, oral history, and research material contained in the file. Next, I will continue to the third slide. Material documenting the innovative work of Duke medical professionals can be found in the archive history record. The Duke University Medical Center Archive will collect the The Duke Medical Center Archive will collect the record from institution records, academic department record, oral history overview, and audiovisual materials such as artifact, photograph, and slide. The material are gathered to support the DUMCA core function, including archiving and preserving records. DUMCA formal collection of institution of record are supplemented by the manuscript for preserving Duke history. The DUMCA archival records have long-term administrative, legal, fiscal, and historical importance, and they are kept as resources for Duke University Center, researchers, and others. The medical center archivist must identify valuable paper to students in the future because it is important and it is also impossible to collect all the data in one time. For the next subtopic, which is appraisal and disposal, the archive provide a wide range of frequent management service to the department offices across the campus without any cost at all. Hence, they also offer services such as record disposal guideline and suggestion, and easy access to record retrieval and record circulation. Medical Center Archive actively collect official records from DUMC and DUSS department and divisions, as well as a variety of material that give proof of business and activity over time. But the Duke University Medical Center Archive doesn't accept everything that DUMC and DUSS produce, since archivists utilize another technique to decide the document add to their archive collection. Archivists need to use their collection development strategy to inform their choice on whether or not to accept items while assessing them. But they also must examine other elements of the document before reaching to final decision. Before starting the appraisal process, archivists must properly check the condition of the records. They must separate and cleanse before being transferred to the archive, otherwise the archive risks impacting their whole collections. Okay, the first one, the action taken by the archivist are defined at the appraisal because it is the process of determining which document donate to an archive are available to be included in their collection. Before starting the appraisal process, the archivist must check in the condition of record whether the condition are okay or not before they proceed to the next process. They also have to examine other elements of the document before researching a final decision. Majority of the collection items come from DUMC and DUSS. Archivists can readily check provenance, content validity, and dependability. The assessment of the item for repository with a large collection scope may need additional effort from the archivist. Manuscript donation overview. Faculty administrative friend and previous associate of the medical center have donated a large portion of the for the archive department holding. At the University Medical Center Archive, the archive accepts personal document and artifact, chronically individual place, event, and experience.
Assessing. The act of taking physical and legal custody of a group of record or other material and documenting that received in the actual sense is acknowledged as assessing. Assessing aids in the authentication of provenances of records by accounting for chain of custody, as well as addressing any transfer of physical and intellectual property by documenting receipt of legal agreement and accounting for content. Assessing represents an opportunity for the exploratory to gain basic physical and intellectual resources. Because it allows for the control of material resources, assessing is the foundation of any good collection management apparatus. The DUMC medical records, Dumca, collect any form of record but are not limited to paper document and publication, photographs, slides, contact sheets, and negative, audios and audiovisual recording such as tape and any other else. The Dumca does not collect a certain material that do not count as record to the purpose of the DUMC medical record Dumca, such as a special record, non-DUMC publication, which stands for Doc University Medical Center, just as book and journal, and any duplicates of record is already held at Duke University Medical Center Archive. There are few transfer process in the assessing of records into the archive according to the Duke University Medical Center Archive Dumca. First and foremost, upon communication of the associations, you will receive the documentations. The records are then placed in a queue for processing, which includes the arrangement and decoration of the archive materials. Third, any duplicate materials that do not fall within the Dumca collections scope are removed and returned during the processing, being resourced in order to provide more storage. The final step is to create finding aid for the records, which will be published on the Dumca websites, and the record will then be available for research subject to any restrictions. Arrangement and description. A documentary record liaison represent the Office or Department of Archive Regulation and work with the Duke University Medical Center Archive, Dumca, to coordinate and implement the medical center record management policies and procedures in the department. They will go over the record, which must not include any patient's information. Other record of lasting historical value including just illustrations significant progress in medical science, care, research, and education, as well as those produced by the health faculty. Staff and department who have made significant contribution to the medical field and our society as a whole. Only the bulk or thing from the Dumca can be used to transfer the record to Duke University Medical Center Archive, Dumca. The file should be boxed in order in which they would be ordinarily arranged. When possible, remove the rubber band and bind the clips. Overfilling the boxes is not permitted. A properly packed box will have a lid that lies flat across the top, straight side, and about an inch of space at the back. If the files are packed upright, the container have the potential to crush the box and damage the file. Following that, if the office transfer does not have it, the Dumca will prepare an inventory for each of them using an Excel spreadsheet. As a result, they may be a routine and a business-like.
Okay, now we move to the next slide, which is preservation. Preservation is a major component of a record management program's overall function. Preventive preservation, for starters, aims to lower the chance of harm and slow down the rate of degradation. This is usually accomplished by selecting high-quality materials and implementing appropriate storage and handling methods. Prescriptive preservation refers to the process of recognizing, treating, or replicating damaged resources in order to restore useful access to the data. Vacuum cleaning is a type of collection maintenance that Dumca used to preserve their records. High efficiency particulate air, or HEPA, is an acronym for high efficiency particulate air. A vacuum with a HEPA filter is known as a HEPA vacuum. This filter catches hazardous particles such as mold, dust, frost, and other fine debris by forcing air through a small mesh. With their own HEPA vacuum, the Dumca can now effectively clean our newly acquired material prior to storing them with the rest of our holdings, improving access to their collection and ensuring a healthier environment for the employees, users, and collections. On May 30, 2018, Dumca successfully purchased the Neil Phipps Museum vacuum cleaner. The director of the Conservation Services Department, Belle Doyle, assisted them in assembling and training for the Neil Phipps Museum vacuum cleaner. Doyle then showed them how to handle the vacuum in the right ways and vacuuming techniques, as well as how to attach and operate the various micro attachments, how to clear mold properly, and how to clean up after cleaning moldy or other contaminated items. Okay, now we move to the next slide, which is storage. Dumca installed compact shelving, so when they install the compact shelving, they can now store more boxes of valuable materials in their on-site facility thanks to this new electronically movable shelving. In between the operation, the new configuration creates more aisle space, making it easier for archive staff to retrieve materials for researchers. when something or someone is in the aisle, a sensor prevents the range from closing. Dumca plans to replace the majority of the remaining traditional shelving in the near future, as they anticipate further production growth. The oversized material will be then stored on the shelving that will not be replaced, microclimates with a wide range of temperature and humidity. The storage facilities mentioned above are not expensive. The Duke Medical Center Archive offers a free, safe, secure, and climate-controlled storage facility for Duke medicines valuable. The items are processed by professionals who arrange the items and describe them in a finding aid or inventory. Last but not least, Duke medicines valuable can be stored for free in the Duke Medical Center Archive, which is safe, secure, and climate-controlled. Professionals also organize and describe the item in a finding aid or inventory. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, I am Noramira Binti Sulaiman. I will explain about access and reference services. Firstly, I will explain term access and reference services. Term access refer to the terms and conditions where the audiovisual material is accessible and reused. Meanwhile, definition or reference services is archive provide service and facility for those who want access material that has been approved and has been researched for material. Next, University Medical Center Archive or DUMCA has given the permission to access the record in the archive. But some records, however, for a variety of reasons, including the Family Education Right and Privacy Act of 1974/1976, FERPA, and the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, access must be restricted under HIPAA. Following that, researcher might get requested record through email, phone, fax, or letter. Staff at the archive will conduct up to 30 minutes of research for any researcher at no cost. However, in order to access restricted records, researcher must sign a confidentiality agreement. For these people to find record, basically, they need to show a form of photo identification, need to make screen daily, and required to wearing a mask. Due to the pandemic, the archive reading room is currently available by appointment only on Tuesday and Thursday for dark researcher. They also have options for digital research, such as digitized intercom is filtered information about campus events and construction. Digital exhibits has several digital exhibits about key figures and events in the history of the medical center, and DUMC archive blog and Instagram another option to search about archive news, see material, and discover story about the medical center history. Lastly, DUMCL will be provided the reference tool to the resources. To find archival material, can search in website like in collection listing, library catalog, and archive subject guide. Because most of the majority material you need researcher required to follow regulation. Example general rule like food and drink are not permitted in the reading room. Personal items other than those required for study should be stored in the reading room locker, and laptop computer are permitted in the reading room. However, the use of additional equipment such as a camera must be allowed by archive staff. That's all from me. Explanation about access and reference services.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Hazimatul Waznah, Binti Yatim, and now I will present about outreach activities. Outreach activities are acts that archivists must take in order to catch a new customer's attention and spark their interest in archive. Examples of outreach activities include publication, exhibits, radio and television broadcasts, and other methods of reaching out to the public. The outreach activities was developed by the archival institution to demonstrate the significance of cultural heritage and to benefit the general public from its services. The most common activity carried out by Duke University Medical Center Archive, Dumca, is exhibition. Okay, firstly is remembering the 65th exhibit. This exhibit highlights the action and accomplishment of the 65th General Hospital during World War II. As you may know, World War II lasted from 1939 to 1945. The President of School Medicine, Dr. Wilbert, proposed the idea of a Duke Hospital Army unit in October 1940. The second exhibit held by Dumca that I will share with you is Women in Medicine, an oral history exhibit. This exhibit honors significant women in Duke Medicine's history. The exhibit's goal is to look at specific women's tales while also delving deeper into the environment in which those stories took place. This exhibit features women from a variety of disciplines at Duke Medicine. At Duke Medicine, there will always be women pushing the envelope. This is a continuing effort, but its concentration is mostly on women who blazed a path at Duke during a period when there were fewer women in medicine in general. The next outreach activity that I will share with you is W.C. Davison's scrapbook, Osler Correspondence. This exhibit displays a scrapbook of letters and articles exchanged between the first Dean of the School of Medicine, Wilbert C. Davison, and Sir William and Lady Grace Osler. This exhibition was held from 1913 to 1950. This digital project is a scrapbook of correspondence and publication between Dean Wilbert and Sir William and Lady Grace Osler. The inscription on the first page of this scrapbook reads Wilbert Cornell Davison from William Osler in remembrance of Oxford, July 27, 1916. All of the letters in the original scrapbook are accompanied by typed transcripts that have been placed in with the original. Newspapers clippings contain pieces by or about Osler as well as obituaries for both Osler and Lady Osler. Davison also wrote a short book titled Sir William Osler's Life Story. Next, David Costin Celestin Jr., MD. This exhibit was presented from 1924 until 2009. This exhibit highlights Dr. Celestin's career and contributions to medicine with a focus on his effect on surgical education. Dr. Celestin's teaching abilities were renowned and he had a significant influence on surgical education. He was a talented clinical surgeon who contributed much to the understanding of coronary artery blood flow. He was the chairman of the National Institutes of Health Surgery Study Section and the American Heart Association's Research Committee. In addition, he was the editor of the Annals of Surgery from 1966 until 1996. The list of outreach activities that I will share with you is improving patient care by capturing computerized data exhibit. This online exhibit documents the Duke Data Bank for cardiovascular disease. The data bank itself was created through the vision of Dr. Eugene State, chair of the Duke Department of Medicine from 1946 to 1967. When the Department of Medicine received Myocardial Infarction Research Unit grant to place a computer on the CCU cardiac care unit to monitor cardiology patients, it soon became clear that the nurses on the CCU were more valuable to the project than the computer. Dr. State's vision was that the computer be used hospital-wide as a computerized textbook of medicine, replacing a doctor's fallible memory of how to treat a condition or disease with a computer's infallible memory of each patient treated in the hospital. That's it for outreach activities.
Next, I will continue to give explanation about SWOT analysis and Duke University Medical Center archive. Duke University Medical Center have two strengths. Firstly, strength in DUMCA is provided lots of information. For example, they provide lots of collection of image, special records, and news that related with DUMCA. From that, when DUMCA provides lots of information, it is useful for student, visitor, and researcher to know about DUMCA. It also proves that DUMCA is functional organization. Next, increasing in information technology. It is because doctor allow using digital automation and organized storage on a virtual platform. For example, it is placed as an online repository to make digital items from their collection available to academic worldwide. So that is show that DUMCA information technology are increasing. Then weakness in DUMCA is lack of storage space for long use collection. They realized that if they did not save these uninsured documents from the trash, the account of the DUMCA rights will be financially at best. However, because of this issue, they grew 2,430 linear feet of storage capacity for the archive to keep the record. Another weakness is restricted access to their record and collection. For example, personally identifiable information PII is information that may be used alone or in connection with another piece of information to assume another person identity, access financial resources, or acquire credit. The researcher need to ask permission from the staff and fill form to get the record. So that due of restricted access, researcher cannot get much information they want. After that, lack of documentation. This is due to the fact that all of the firm will keep the metal cans jammed into box. For our inventory, they open each film case and noted the title, date, type, real or core, and condition. They now know what film they have, where they are, and how well they are preserved. Next, opportunity in DUMCA is provide service collection. Other official records. They actively collect records of departments and division of the University Medical Center DUMC and the University Health System DUHS include a variety of items that give evidence of business, interests, and activities across time. As a result, providing service collection for other official documents and freeing individual officials of the responsibility of maintaining and servicing record encourage better and more efficient use of record. Then, other opportunity is develop new software, view, and they are also develop digital file accessible in the reading room through content management system. The electronic record processing module ASAEM. This program was designed particularly for managing, organizing, and controlling archive collection from a single location. From that, when DUMCA develop new software, it helps a lot to researchers to find the information efficiently. Next week, firstly, copyright issue. It is because other record or material is available to access by people. In addition, due of pandemic COVID-19, many people using digital information to get information. So that people made decision to make copy without make any citation. From that, it proved that copyright issue one of the threats for DUMCA. Finally, another threat is security issue in the University Medical Center archive have many types of record they save. For example, patient record, financial record, medical records, and record management. Do of some record available to people to get, there is high opportunities to hackers to hack hospital system. So that DUMC need to provide high security to store record in data. That's all my explanation for SWOT analysis. Thank you.
To conclude, in a climate control setting, the Dumca enables safe and secure storage of permanently important documents.
That's it from us. Thank you for watching.